Massenomics. Thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
Yeah. If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Yeah. Welcome to Massenomics, the world's strongest podcast. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Massenomics. Make sure you go visit Massenomics.com. There you'll find the rest of our powerful content. While you're there, check out our store and buy yourself some of that sweet Massenomics gear. This is where we stall. What you do to your finger? We'll get
talk about that.
We'll get into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's episode of the Massenomics podcast. I'm Tyler, co-host Tommy.
Oh, co-host.
You like
Well,
that?
oh, yeah, I do like that.
And also co-host
Oh,
Tanner.
me too.
Two
even.
co-hosts.
Yeah.
We have titles now. It's not just these are the guys that are sitting at the table with me. Now, I'm going to be honest. From looking at what I see on the screen, you probably cannot even tell it all, which sucks because this was a lot of work. I think the lighting is much better, but we are in a totally new studio space, and we're just
renting it out for thousands of dollars a month.
literally thousands of dollars a month.
Now that those sponsorship money is coming in, we had to figure out a
my
way.
son now is living in my former master bedroom, and my daughter is now in his bedroom, and I now live in the basement.
Oh, I thought you were going to say out in the alley, out back.
That's coming. Once my wife kicks me out, that's coming. So this is a new studio. We're just killing it. Sneezing really hard right about. No.
Psych.
Fought it off. Look at that. Look at that. I fought it off. It's very rude to sneeze on the air. But so I just got back from a week in St. Louis, Missouri. Apparently the
Gateway to the West.
violent crime capital of the Midwest. But
Is it because Nelly and the St. Lunatics run wild there?
honestly, I'm pretty sure.
Did you go to the Arch?
I actually did not.
Oh.
Have
you been to the Arch?
No,
Sam?
no.
Listen,
I have
there's-
been to the
There's
Arch.
one thing I like less than almost anything in the world that is stairs, and I don't think is there an escalator?
See, when I say I went to the Arch, I went and stood under it.
Do you walk up the?
There's an
go
elevator.
up.
There's an elevator that goes up it. I know.
It goes up it, or
Yeah.
I thought it was a stairs thing.
No, the way they explained it to me is there's some fancy elevator that manages to handle the curve.
But how do you handle the?
I don't know. See, I just stayed on the ground.
Geez,
I was
maybe
kind of in a
should've
hurry.
gone.
Yeah. It is kind of cool from the ground though. It's like, oh, this is big.
Yeah.
So we're hoping this new studio looks really professional. Really are. Otherwise, we wasted a whole lot of effort.
And I'm sure people that aren't watching and just listen notice the acoustic upgrade we've gone through.
Yeah, it's a real deal. Now we
Just
have about
sound-
60-mile-an-hour winds outside the window because we're on the second floor instead of the basement.
This is the first time we podcasted in a couple of years that it hasn't been a blizzard, though.
It is.
Seems like it. Yeah, it's actually nice outside.
It is.
So anyway, I got back and I'm trying to get all caught up because I was busy. But I get back and our boy Chris Weist, Unleash the Weist on Instagram, had a tremendous meet.
Yes.
Green plates and all, baby.
That's RPS.
That is their thing,
yeah.
right? Green
Yeah.
plate. Like,
Yeah.
dude,
It's green hundos.
Yeah,
right?
they use the green hundreds.
and it has to be green for their meats, doesn't it?
I
Is
think
that a
so.
rule, or is
I
it
don't
just
know
like
if it's a rule or if it's just like they're all like, hell yeah, we're doing that. I don't know, but that's like
because there's a lot of them doing it. It seems like.
yeah, and that federation, RPS, or I think it's Revolution, Powerlifting, whatever, RPF, maybe it's Federation, I can't remember, but they are a Northeast, popular in the Northeast.
Yep.
And I know their thing is like there's no membership dues.
Ah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of their thing. They're like, no, there's no reason for that. There is no membership dues. So that's kind of an interesting take on that.
You just have to buy our green plates.
Well, yeah,
Green hundreds.
I'm curious. I don't know.
I wonder how that works.
I don't know if they're like they require you have a certain kind of plate that you paint green. You know, a certain.
just
It has to
paint
be a
your plates
York
green?
100 or
Yeah, and
like
who has the green swatch that they're getting here?
I don't know. Yeah,
that is
it's
a very specific green.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing like dark green and lime green. Like
No, but they do lift in pound plates though in that fed blend
It's
too.
about fucking time.
that has to be one of the only ones that does that, isn't it?
I can't think. I mean, other
Outside
lesser
of, like-
known
Like
ones.
maybe some multiply
Yeah.
meats.
Well,
Or
I
something.
will say then that they are hands down the most American of all the federations.
That's
I think that's kind of maybe their
Undebatable.
yeah, that's kind of their thing, like being pretty.
Listen, are you tired of pretending like you know about math?
And looking like you don't lift as much as you actually do.
Well, here, use these plates.
They look huge.
They're this
We'll
thick.
use bumpers until we don't have to. So, but anyway, our boy Chris Weist, what type of meat did he put together here? So
Squat.
squatted?
He on a second attempt, he got a pretty easy looking 725, and then on his third, he did 750, and that looked like it was pretty easy. But he apparently got called on depth, and I don't know if you watch
know
the
what
two
I
side by
saw.
side, they don't look any different to me.
If I
but I don't know.
squatted that much weight, I mean, I would complain about that call.
Yeah,
It'd be different if I was just like,
And
if it wasn't, I don't know, just me, I'd be like, but I did it, and it
Yeah.
was so close.
and
Like,
the worst part of it is he moved it pretty easy.
Yeah, he looked like he could have done more than that still too.
that's where you're like, all right, we'll just give it to you because we knew you could get it. Like we knew you could have got it.
Yeah,
if you
like it was pretty easy and it was borderline. So then bench, I think he did a little less than he was hoping. I think he ended up with 440, and he's probably hoping for more like 475. And then deadlift, he's kind of a
That's his jam.
Yeah, he likes the deadlift on it. Don't know what his opener was. His second attempt, I think, was 880, and then his third attempt, he had told me before the meet that his goal number 1 was 900 pounds, and if he knew that was going to be easy after a second, he was going to jump to like 915 to 920. So apparently that second attempt went
And I remember
really
you
well.
talking, saying he's going for 900.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, in my head, okay, he's going to hit like 904, 905, whatever however the meet
But
works
yeah,
out.
I thought it was interesting. You know, the most he's ever done in competition before, I don't know, maybe it's like 850. You know, it's much less than 900, 915. So he was taking a pretty big gamble,
Yeah.
you know, like going for, because 900 would be a big deal, just 900 even.
Yeah.
To skip right over that and go another 15 pounds heavier. And it looked like a pretty clean deadlift to me.
Yeah.
That was a good lift.
For sure.
And they gave him a fourth attempt at 940. I don't know how that went.
How
I
it
don't.
went,
Yeah, but judging by his 915, it's not out of the realm to believe that 940 could be within reach for
So
him.
he's in really exclusive elite,
Mm-hmm.
in a really elite group of people now with an over 910 pound conventional deadlift. Like I don't know. Is there 20 guys that have done that ever?
No,
like
I don't
in a
think so.
powerlifting competition.
No, I don't think so. I don't.
I don't really know who.
I mean, it's more than Forsaken Warrior, a very well-known deadlifter at this point, has pulled.
And he was in the 308?
Yeah, so
These
he
guys are both
broke
308?
Chris now has the 308. He's in the 308 weight class. He has the record now for that weight class, not Steve Johnson. So it's pretty impressive.
So is someone sending him a giant oversized check to commemorate?
How does that work? Yeah.
The bank sends it, don't they?
And it sounds like someone out there will correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think so. That was the American record for the 308 weight class. I believe the American record across any weight class is Kaylor Woolham at 927. I don't think there's any American that's pulled more than that in competition, because Vince Urbank is like 908, Steve Johnson's like 909, and there's not that many Americans that have pulled over 9 in.
Yeah, like George Lehman.
Yeah.
But even that, that was a deadlift only meet.
Yeah.
I mean, not to take anything away from the lift, but I would think a full power is a little tougher.
Yeah,
circumstances.
after squatting 750 and benching 450 pounds or whatever it was.
I'm trying to find the data here with open powerlifting.
I think they're not
checking the
supported on iPhones though, are they? Or
that's
what they always say. So I don't know how that.
How was I doing it before? I was just using my web browser.
Yeah, on your computer. It's the.
It's not on
Yeah.
God damn it! I love them so much. I'm not even going to complain about it.
But they do always say that that's something that they're working on, and I'm sure it's I'm sure they know that people want that.
They just
sure
need
it's
one of
a
those
real-
giant oversized checks so they can make it happen.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a real simple, seamless process that Apple has.
But that'll be a good thing for them getting that on the iPhone, because there's a lot of times when I would like to just pop that up on my phone, and even if it was an app, I would download that app.
Oh, yeah.
And have that.
And the nice thing about developing your own app is that it basically is expensive and takes forever. And
you don't get any money for it.
And you don't get paid any money for it. And even if you charge for it, then cheap asses like me are like, I'm not $1.
$1?
Yeah,
Absolutely
$1,
not.
$2.
Under no
He
circumstances.
said, "Screw this! I'm going to the liquor store and I pick up some beer."
Yeah.
So him going for 940, 938, I think is maybe the world record.
Is that Kaler or is that
KK? I think.
Oh, that okay.
Is not is the world record in, I guess, in 308, because the world record deadlift of anyone in a powerlifting meet would be Benny Magnusson.
Is that like 1,005
yeah,
or something?
I think.
What was the one? And this is gonna. I can't keep him straight anymore. What did Yuri Belkin have? That crazy sumo deadlift. That was a few months ago. Wasn't he like in the mid to high nines?
And so maybe he broke that then too. I'm not sure, but I thought that maybe that was the significance of him pulling 940, is that it was some sort of world. But that that would still be a 308. Maybe it would still just be the 308 world record, because Yuri was in that meet. He's usually 220. That meet he lifted 242. So that it was probably a 308 world record that he was attempting at 940 pounds.
Yeah. And for people that maybe don't follow every single episode we do, I can't imagine who that would be. But why don't you explain Chris's situation, how you found this guy, who he is, a little bit about him?
Yeah, he lives out in Pennsylvania, and he is young. Chris is, I think, 22 now, or 22 or 23. I think 22. But we started following him, and I was like, wow, this guy is really, really strong.
And I remember you bringing that up one day, like, I found this guy, like, he's insanely strong, and like people don't know who he is.
Yeah.
Which isn't that uncommon nowadays, but
Right.
he was also like showing some crazy potential.
Right. So we started talking to him, and obviously, I mean, no secret here, we've been sending him shirts and Mass-anomic stuff, and really cool part for the meet, he was wearing Massenomics, one of our Mass-anomic singlets, which that was cool, seeing someone deadlift not just talking like one of us doing a good, cool lift in that, but we're talking a guy lifting an American record, maybe attempting a world record, and he's wearing a Massenomic singlet.
And if someone feels inspired, they are available on the website if you'd like to buy one.
Yep, they are
Get them customized with your name.
Yeah, they all will have your name on the back, whatever you want, but they do take a while. So if you are wanting one, think about giving it 7 week order about 7 weeks before you need it, because each one is special order made with care just for you. So
That's right.
It takes a little time.
I sew it.
Yeah.
Here.
Tyler's sewing away.
And now we know those threads can hold up to a 915-pound deadlift.
I did like Ryan's
So
comment.
the rest of you and your mediocre deadlifts fucking probably don't have much to worry about.
Ryan's comment, is this the world record for the most ever deadlifted in a Massenomic singlet?
Yes.
It's like,
I think it narrowly
just edges out whatever might have been the record before that.
it's a narrow.
Which not
beats
to say
it
there
by
hasn't-
300 pounds.
Yeah,
maybe.
not to say there hasn't been some big pulls. I think
No.
someone's probably pulled 700 in one before, haven't they?
Um,
Or maybe I'm just thinking of lift shirts.
Didn't the lift
The
shirt-
lift
the
shirts
lift
have been
shirts
exposed to
for
there.
sure. That may be the heaviest deadlift while a piece of Massenomics apparel has been worn, though. I would venture to say
I
that
don't
it
even
is.
know that a piece of Massenomics apparel has ever touched that much weight. Has Ray, you suppose Ray Williams done any squatting in his lift shirt? I haven't
He
seen
may
him
have
squatting.
been.
I
We
would
wouldn't
assume he
know.
probably has at some point, but
Or Rob. I don't know how much Quads Like Rob has been squatting in it, but it's probably he doesn't go over 9 all that often. So it probably wouldn't.
Just call him out.
Yeah,
Listen,
he
Rob.
doesn't. Rob doesn't squat over 900 near enough.
fairly
At least not in
conservative
that
lifter.
shirt.
He has been wearing the lift hat quite a bit though
Yeah,
when he's been
that's good.
squatting. So
Well, because we don't actually pay people because we don't have any money.
we just try to be really nice.
We just hope they wear it because they think the shirts and hats are cool.
yeah.
So yeah, I guess the big takeaway would be if you don't follow Chris Weist, is it at Unleash the Weist? Is there an underscore in there?
I think there is an underscore.
But yeah, if you don't follow him, you really should be, because that guy is really one of the few people that's just popped out of nowhere to break a record.
and
And that is age. The sky is the limit.
yeah, and to be honest, I mean, I'm not him. I can't say exactly what his training was like for the last year, but I know he's a pretty avid archery hunter, and I think he spent quite a few months like
Not lifting.
like within the last 12 months, quite a few months not lifting, and then even a transition getting back to lifting where he's doing more just what I don't know, call it a bro session or chasing
hypertrophy.
yeah, but even more just like arms and
Yeah.
fun stuff like that. So I mean, if he just like keeps at intense training for a year, it would be interesting to see what he could get that to.
Yeah, and it also seems like a lot of these guys, like once they get in that territory, it just seems like somehow they get a deal in the works where they're kind of not working a full-time job and they kind of just focus on their training.
Yeah.
And he's working on the railroad, which we've kind of found through experience at the gym here that
People are
working on the
strong.
railroad just seems to add a lot of pounds to your total. I think just having that tier title.
Yeah.
For some reason, yeah, like the strongest people we have that just like are crazy strong for basically no reason are the guys we have that work for the railroad.
Yeah.
Like fucking Tyler.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
just and he hasn't been. Is he still out in Minnesota now? Right?
Yeah,
he's still moving
he's
around a little
somewhere.
bit,
But
but
he's on his
but
adventures.
he's still
Vision
he's
Quest?
still just as like just squats fucking like tons of weight like it's nothing. Big bench, big like just
He was like
easy.
literally on a life linear periodization program.
Yeah,
It was
just
just
like
like
continually higher.
keep
Just
this
adds
going.
weight every week forever.
Yeah, and it is unleash _ Weist, Weist is his last name.
Because the I comes before E except after
For
C.
W.
Except for when there's like there's like 15 exceptions to that rule.
Except for
It's
all the
worst fucking
exceptions,
rule.
yeah.
Because that's like 50-50. Does the
Yeah.
I come before the E?
Usually just guess. You'll be wrong, but
Someone on the internet will tell you.
Yeah.
his best deadlift before this was 880 pounds that he did a few weeks ago wearing a huge
training.
life shirt. Yeah.
So modest, 35
But
pounds.
so he totaled 2,080. If he would have got that squat white lights, he would have been 2105. So he's like also, huge deadlift, of course, but total was looking at over a 2,100 pound total already.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's probably got room to go on his squat. And I would assume he could push his
by
bench.
the nature of it, his bench is only going to go up 2 because when you're, what'd you say, 22?
Yeah.
That shit hurts
Why,
my fucking
why
face.
wouldn't it go up when you're 22?
Yeah. Right. So
When you're 22, your bench can still go up like 100 pounds in a year.
Oh,
So it's really cool to see him wearing our stuff, doing that.
Yeah, bro, the Weist has been unleashed.
Yeah, he finally unleashed it. But I do see his even over the last day since he's done that, his following has grown a little bit here. So people
As
might
it
be noticing that 915 pound deadlift. I told him he's got to beat Larry Wheels to 900 in competition, and he did that. Larry's gonna have some work to do to beat 915. That's
At all.
that's not. I mean,
Larry's
biggest
900
freak in the
Larry's-
world, Larry
yeah.
Wheels, of course, here, but that's not easily
His
done.
9 in training wasn't like fucking snappy.
No,
and
no.
that's not after squatting and benching.
Yeah.
just because Chris, like I'm sure he's a big guy. Like he's probably taller than most lifters. I would assume he's probably in that 6'1"
I think he's
area.
6'2", maybe.
6'2".
Yeah.
How much does he weigh actually?
He weighed in for this at 290,
Okay.
which I think 292, and that's the heaviest he's ever been. He got
so
heavier.
he can still fill that out.
Yeah.
quite a bit.
Yeah.
He's
And
not,
he doesn't
He's
look
not one of the guys lifting as a 308 that walks
No,
around at 340. Does
right.
the water cut.
No.
right, and I think he did no cut. Like he literally that was probably the heaviest he was when he went and got on the scale. So yeah, he's got room to grow there still.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
So we've had a real rash of injuries going on lately here. I don't know if you guys have noticed what we got going on Tommy's finger here right now. Tommy, do you want to tell us what happened? Look like we have some sort of for a graphic designer, something pretty tragic.
I'll tell you what, when your left middle finger has a splint on it and your job revolves around using a computer keyboard all day, every day, it's one of the most annoying things that could ever happen to you. But yeah, the medical condition I have would be called mallet finger, which is when I'm going to mess up tendon or ligament, I think tendon, that runs down your finger to the very tip of my finger on that last joint, just like basically tore. And so I jammed it, and right away I'm like, oh, this is painful. And my finger was drooping straight down like it was something wrong with it. So I'm just thinking, oh, it's going to be awesome. I'm just going to pull. It's dislocated. I'm going to pull it, and it's going to pop back in, and I can finally say, like, I did that.
Yeah.
And I'm pulling on my finger. I'm like, it just keeps drooping. What's going on here? And, yeah, that's because it was a tendon thing. So
How'd you jam it? Was this a
no,
weightlifting injury?
No, literally just jammed. It caught in my shirt. My hand was in my shirt, and I straightened it out, and it just popped. As crazy as that sounds. And I
All
thought
your
that
strength training
I thought
cannot-
that sounded completely unbelievable until I looked it up online, and it says people commonly have this injury happen tucking in bed sheets,
Really?
which I thought was insane. So I'm telling my mom about this, and she said, "Oh yeah, the same thing happened to your dad like 2 years ago." What he did though,
genetic.
yeah, he
Watch out,
was
Ryan.
like cleaning something and dragging his hand across it, and while he was dragging his hand across it, his finger jammed on whatever.
I'm now going to be
hung up on
nervous doing everything ever
I-
again.
Probably
Well,
never
it's like
cleaning again.
after all the shit you like put your hands
Yeah.
through, and they do, and then it literally a piece of fabric jams up your finger.
So
and-
what's your finger like now? If you take that thing off, like, can you
actually
move it,
now,
or
so because it's been
a couple weeks? Or?
in like a day or two, it's been 2 weeks already. So now when I take it off, it'll stay almost straight, but I still can't completely extend it straight. It's not quite there, but about another 2 weeks I should be back to the high life.
So how does that affect your lifting?
Oh, just don't plan on hanging on to anything. So like your middle finger,
your middle finger in the air and try and see how hard of a fist you can make.
Yeah, just try to make a fist with your middle finger in the air, and you realize that like your grip just sucks when it's one. When your grip is your index finger and your thumb, it's just garbage. There's
Yeah.
nothing, and then it's like, well, I have these other two fingers, but by the time those get in, like it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And so I'll deadlift with the
tried
figure eight straps,
straps or-
and all that does is it just. I got to curl this
Still
finger
need
in,
to
and I
turn.
can't do it, and it just pulls it down, and then all of a sudden this starts sliding out, and if I start bending it, then I'm just messing the whole thing up again. So that sucks. Squatting, I usually have a pretty low bar where my wrists are in there pretty tight, and I can't make a tight fist on it because this hand won't come down. So now I have like this loose, gimpy wrist, and so I feel like it's messing up my squat. Bench doesn't feel good. Bench is probably the easiest one to do, but it still doesn't feel good because I don't have a firm grip on the bar. Like I'm just kind of two fingering it. Like, and then on top of that, anything.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Any like RDL or just anything like a pull down of any kind, any type of pulling motion is just like out the window. So it's.
So you've obviously just been replacing all that stuff with cardio.
Yeah, so I started running 5 miles a day, and it's going really good.
Getting great results. I've been getting weaker and fatter and more boring to talk to.
Yeah, my personality is just
sucks.
taking a total tank.
Now all you can do is like you go up to people now and you just instead of talking about lifting, then you got to talk about how much your finger injury has hampered your lifting.
Yeah, or it's like, oh my god, what'd you do to your finger? It's like, well, I jammed it. Oh, okay, and then
And then they don't even want to hear it.
Yeah.
They're like, motherfucker went to the hospital.
Actually, I didn't have to. My
Did I have a ringing in my ears,
is
or
there
is
a
that
ghost in here?
There's being upstairs. There's doorbells.
Oh, you have one of those,
Look
huh?
at that, guys, coming up in the world.
Whoa,
Motherfucker, who rings a
aggressive
doorbell
doorbells.
like that? We got
There's
a
an
rapid
emergency.
fire machine gun doorbell.
Is it a guess for the podcast? Is that what it is?
I don't know. Let's pull them up on camera here.
Did Larry get tired of calling in, so now he's just visiting?
Larry's
Is that
just gonna show
he's
up.
like, everyone wanted me back on.
What's going on here?
front door? Oh, we're going live on the front
We're
door.
live here.
Oh,
It's those damn.
They've entered my house, you guys.
It's those damn kids
It's
leaving.
those damn kids. They're coming here
It's
to play.
poop again.
They're coming here to play my Xbox.
They're putting flaming poop on the doorstep.
Fuck, I fucking knew it. I got hurt this week.
did you?
Yeah, I was
Like physically or mentally?
Well, listen, I spent the week with Julian Pinot. I am very much so mentally hurt and fragile at this point. But we were dinking around after like a day, the coaches week, like on Tuesday, and we're just screwing around doing some like light yoke carries, like it was like 500 pounds. We're just going down, gonna do some sandbag carries back just to kind of play, talk a little shit, see who's going faster, whatever. Like my third or fourth run, I just pick it up, take one step, and I felt this just like intense pop in my lower leg. and I thought that literally that someone like threw a fucking rock or something at my leg. Or that, you know, you ever been shot with it? This is the most white trash question you ever asked. You ever been shot with a BB gun?
Yeah.
Right? Like shot with a BB gun? Like, that's what it feels like. And everyone, for some reason, everyone I know has been shot with a BB gun. I don't know why. Remember?
That is like a really white trash.
Like, it really, it's a Midwest thing.
BB gun in the first place.
Yeah, but anyway, I felt like I got shot with a BB gun in the back of the leg, and I heard that pop, and I stopped for a moment and went, well, I know what that sound normally correlates to, which is like a torn Achilles.
That's what, yeah.
And I'm like, motherfucker. Like, I don't need 12 to 18 months of recovery. I am not that. I am not.
Kobe Bryant was never the same.
Yeah. And I am not.
And
tough.
you don't have the Mamba mentality?
No. That's the one thing I do not have is the Mamba mentality. I will quit so fast. I'll be fat as fuck. I'll never lift again. And so 18 months off, no chance. So I was like pretty worried. And then upon further investigation, I don't believe it was my Achilles. I think it was my calf. And then there were some people around there, and then I kind of did some looking and some asking, and basically it's like a partial tear in my calf. But that pop usually indicates you're at about a grade 3, where it's going to take a while. Mm-hmm. But
muscle being better than tendon.
Yeah. So. It is what it is, but that motherfucker swelled up like a goddamn hot dog in the microwave. Like I thought my calf was going to split open. Mm-hmm. And so I wore my props to the Spud Inc. elbow straps with the hooks.
Oh, and you just sling that on there?
Or elbow sleeves.
Oh, yeah.
So I just, after the first night.
You put that on your calf.
I kind of wanted to let the swelling do what the swelling does. Uh-huh. Kind of moves blood to the, But the next morning I woke up and my leg was fucking huge. And so I pulled those sleeves on, 2 of them, kind of stacked them, overlapped them. And then, and oh my God, did that make a huge difference. Except for then when I took them off after like 45 minutes, my foot, and I'm not joking, was a full inch wider all the way around where the compression was. So it was like actually if you measured the diameter, my ankle was 2 inches wider than my lower calf because all of the blood had moved to my foot.
Yeah.
And then I had to like gangster wrap my socks to try to move that blood out because the lady I was talking to, she's like, yeah, at that spot with that amount of swelling, like you're at pretty high risk of like compartment syndrome. Like you need to get that shit to it and through it and out. So I'm like, fuck. So I was just managing like intense swelling for 2 days. But it got around. Like I can walk, but it's not awesome anymore. And it's definitely going to be a while before I'm lifting anything heavy off the floor.
How are you going to do that marathon next weekend now?
Yeah.
Man, you must feel stupid after all these runs
promises
you've been
I
doing.
made, all these years of running.
That sticker you put on the back of your car for the run.
26.2. You put
God, that was a preemptive sticker. I never thought it'd blow up in my face like this. But yeah, so it's kind of, I don't know, it's probably a blessing in disguise that I was getting a little bit tired of not tired, but like of I was eating a lot, trying to gain weight for a little while. It was like a month and a half of that. And it was getting exhausting and I was lifting pretty heavy and it was going well, but like I was starting to feel pretty drugged down and tired of eating. So I'll kind of take it as a blessing in disguise where I can just kind of train intuitively and not force feed myself for a few weeks until I feel all right. And yeah.
Have fun with it.
Yeah, it'll be a jam when I come back. But I definitely will not be as strong, which sucks. But honestly, it's not a very major. It could be a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah.
But still, it's a yoke that I like play with. I've actually done overhead yoke carries almost that heavy.
Yeah.
Well, also, the real blessing here, Tyler, is you can start a comeback story now.
Hashtag.
You can't have a comeback without a...
That's true.
Without a setback.
Start everything now with like
Hashtag
comeback.
can't have comeback without setback.
Hashtag comeback PR. You can do that too, Tommy.
I can. Yeah, I never even thought of that. Okay.
You get to where you're repping out 185 on the bench. It can be a comeback PR now. And you can go to 205 and you can celebrate all those little wins.
I also now have an excuse for having every other word in anything I type misspelled because my finger just won't work with me. So terrible spelling everywhere.
So, and if you send like a bad proof to a customer, you can be like, that's the finger.
And I'm sure they're like, oh, that's okay. We don't care.
We got another doorbell. What's going on here?
cops this time.
Everybody out there. What do we got? They got
Is that a
kids
SWAT team?
and a bike.
Tyler, they're talking about your house.
Jesus, I don't know. I don't give a shit.
We probably have better working connections up here now that we're not
I
in the
would
basement,
think
huh?
my Wi-Fi is working, except
Yeah.
for. Okay, I do have open powerlifting up now.
Oh yeah, check that
All right, so what are we looking at? Just
deadlift. Just go all classes first and just see where he fits into.
going raw with
I think
reps.
can you do all?
I don't know if I can do that. Raw with reps. I'm all classes, all feds. I got to go male.
And
then can you
we
just
are
sort by the deadlift?
Did you want the biggest first or the smallest first?
So Benedict does have that. Okay, Yuri's was 970.
970.
Wow. Okay, Kaler
Taylor
has 928.
So Kaler has the what you would call the American record, I guess.
So
Jerry
Aria
Pritchett's
Accia.
914.9. So he just beat
edged out
Jerry
Big
Pritchett.
Jerry.
What about also try just the other raw? I wonder. I wouldn't think that that's different. I don't know.
So that would put him at 5th all time then, correct?
Okay, so that didn't change anything on the deadlifts then.
No, not necessarily.
Yeah. So it did
Fourth
change a little
here.
bit. It dropped that Ariata guy out of there.
Dropped him way down.
So his best pull is a 915 though. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was the 5th
Yeah, I
heaviest.
believe that would put him 5th of all time, 0.1 pounds ahead of
Yeah,
Jerry Pritchett.
that's pretty crazy. And tied for 4th, right? Tied for
Yeah,
4th.
yeah,
Tied for 4th of the all-time comp. There's a lot of people that you see him do heavy deadlifting and training,
Because
and
they
there's a
don't
lot of
have KK
strongman.
in here for whatever
Oh
reason.
yeah, those aren't in there then. So he would be up above that though too.
Yeah, I guess was it like? Is there a weird federation thing with that one? Is that why it's
Maybe
not
that-
in there? Or
that
is it just
could be.
old enough?
But he would be up above that too, I think. So he's probably tied for 5th
Yeah,
then maybe. But that's pretty crazy.
it is.
And he is only how far behind Kaler then? 13 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Yuri, 970 pounds.
So now if we remove the sumo,
Yeah, I mean,
Benedict Magnuson, and I don't know about
this person.
yeah.
he's the one that I was trying to tell you guys like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That has the really straight-legged deadlift. He also had some major injury happen to him too.
What's he go by here? Big Papa Chisel. I like him already.
Big Papa Chisel.
It's
yeah.
it's always interesting to me too, though, that you can have like that be like a top 5 deadlifter of all time with only 5,000 followers.
Yeah.
I know.
Nobody sees your anything.
Yeah, there is a little marketability to all this stuff too. It's,
For sure.
Yeah, and how many pictures of your girlfriend you post? Uh-oh, he got comeback. We got comeback in there.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was gonna say, I knew he
That's
got
why.
hurt
Maybe he's
somehow.
on the comeback trail. So very stiff-legged deadlifts.
The other, I was going to tell you guys too, and I'm sure you saw this. Friend of the podcast, Dan Bell, and a few other guys had a meet this weekend too.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they threw up some pretty big
Dan
numbers.
had a big meet.
was that Dan's best ever?
I think that put him, based on
Where-
the caption he wrote, that was second highest total of all time.
Well, that look up totals all time. And let's see what his was.
And it is possible it's not in here yet, but
It probably isn't, but we'll know what his is off of his. He posted what his total was. So did he beat Lillibridge? And I have the worst totals of all time. Ryan Hansen, 24.3 pounds.
In 2016, Ryan had a rough fucking day. He probably
Well, that's what he gets for spelling his name Rion.
probably has a disability or something. Like, that's probably like a really heroic day. Because if you could put up 24 pounds, like, you're not even using a bar.
That's a good question.
Can you come out and call? Can you come out and
I never even
call
thought about
this?
that part. That
Listen, I
doesn't
need
make
a
any
trainer
sense.
bar for this one. So
Yeah,
Did they make 26-pound trainer bars?
24.1. Yeah.
So Where does he list it here? Was it him? Did he list it there or on his fucking story?
I thought I can't even remember. I think it was in his squat video. Didn't he say the?
This isn't in the meat though.
Oh well, who's?
Oh, I bet it was Boss. That
Yeah, it was
posted
JB
that.
Boss. I'm also a
It's
friend of
either
the
Boss
podcast.
Or,
yeah.
Tom Finn.
Tom Finn also benched 501, and that was really easy though.
Can we
was
actually
that-
talk about this for a second?
Yeah.
The Ryan and I were discussing this, that everything about his attempt would have got him thrown out. And I'm not saying the attempt, I'm saying the before and after.
Yeah.
So the start of it was he had a handle of Tito's vodka, and he said, "This is how I prep for a meat attempt." And he's chugging vodka. Then he walks out behind the curtain with a midget. He sits on the bench. The midget brings over nose torque. He smells it on the bench. The midget slaps him across the face, and then he starts the lift, completes the lift. I think he screams a little bit, then does the worm, some push-ups, and then walks off. It like that is pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that makes the powerlifting meet way more entertaining.
Yeah. I want. What do you suppose that was like his only attempt? Like, did he do?
No, he did like. Oh well,
Did he do the full meet?
I think he was bench only because I know
Yeah.
he did like. I think his first attempt was like 480,
Oh,
and then he
okay.
did like 501 or
Yeah.
500.
Did he miss something on a third or what? Because that 501 looked really easy.
Yeah, and I cannot remember now what that said or if he had a third attempt. But I
Damn it! Where the fuck? How am I not finding this?
I thought that was JB
So Dan
Boss.
squatted 1025. I know that.
So that's a lot.
That was in, and that's in here. I thought. Where the
I think he pulled like 880 too.
yeah, I think it was 881, I believe.
what the fuck?
Maybe they took it down because he.
It was too aggressive.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Who in the world knows?
Powerlifting. Impossible to find anything.
Jesus Christ! I feel like an idiot. But benched well.
He had a good bench too.
Well, goddamn it! This is just compelling fucking entertainment here.
1 hour of
You guys
thinking
wanna-
out
You guys
loud.
want to listen to us Google some stuff? Is that what you tuned in for?
We do kind of have to know now though, like what it, how much it was that he did do.
Yeah, you can't just throw the question out there and not have an answer.
Should I call him? What if you
Yeah,
I do have him on. Maybe I saw it on his Snapchat. That's a possibility.
I saw it somewhere.
I
too.
did
know,
too,
I
and I
saw
don't know
it.
where I saw it.
I thought it was on JB Boss, but I don't see theirs stuff anywhere.
Unless they just
Maybe
had
it was
on
on
their story.
his story.
But I can't find it on his story.
Probably never happened then.
Yeah,
Well, that's what we know, guys. It
was
never
all
happened.
made up.
Dan didn't do anything this week.
allegedly though he has the second highest total of all time,
That's pretty crazy.
which I believe was high 2400s.
Yeah, 2458 Eric Lillibridge.
So somewhere,
Somewhere between that and 2513.
yeah.
Jesus Christ, Dan. Glad you're my friend and not my enemy.
Dan's not doing the U.S. Open. I don't think he doesn't do that one, but I think Andre Milanichev is supposed to be doing that.
Really?
And J.P. Price.
Really?
So
Uncle Andre.
a couple of big totals there.
Yeah. Get that money.
Good old Uncle Andre is just killing it. Tanner, we had checked in with you last week, literally on the day of your tremendous bench PR. How's the old shoulder holding up?
Good.
Do you have? Do you regret
No, it's
going
actually
that hard in the
Do you
paint?
regret not going harder now, knowing that your shoulder
no,
isn't ruined yet?
no. I also don't regret
Do you
that.
think you should have just thrown 585 on?
No, in hindsight, it feels good, and
The road to 600 should have started that day, though.
yeah.
Because 500 is just not even a thing to worry about.
No, and even thinking back, it's probably more than I should have even, it's like certainly pushing it as it is. So no, I definitely wouldn't have wanted to do
Yeah.
more than that, but it feels good, and no problems there. It's just, I can't get my groin to not be like pulled anymore. I just basically can't squat anymore because my groin is just in a forever state of being pulled, I guess.
I think that's what fatherhood is like.
I guess that is.
So whatever was in your shoulder
Yes,
moved
moved
into
my
moved
groin.
deep into your groin.
So I've been trying like every squat variation in the world, and it's basically I just can't because I cannot like sink my hips to a parallel position without my.
Have you tried just squatting way above parallel?
That's the only thing I can do.
Just get,
How-
just get flattering camera angles and nobody will know.
Did you try pistol squats?
Listen, I think that's the key.
Yeah, that would be my limiting factor in not doing the pistol squats is my groin.
I knew it.
Yeah. That's the reason I can't do those.
Well, shucks.
But I can do super, super high box squats, but then I get done with those and I'm like,
Were exercises
yeah.
performed today?
is that worth my time at all?
Or was that just really easy?
Yeah. So my shoulder feels good though.
Well, that's good.
Yep.
Baby steps.
It's just always one thing, one different thing.
You do notice that though, where it does seem like there's always in the sport. Like I think when you get strong enough, like there's always something that can't be moved forward.
Yeah.
It's just you're not going to push everything forward all the time. So like at some point you're going to either get dinged up or just not mentally be there for one.
Yeah.
And for you, you just had the brakes on your bench for a really long time because every time
Yeah.
you did, it fucking sucked.
Yeah.
And now that feels good, are you benching? Are you able to bench now, like mostly every week?
Yeah, I am now, and I'm actually doing.
So it really turned the corner on you then.
Yeah.
So did
yeah.
you?
It's
to be responsible. I'm assuming as soon as you were able to bench, you just jumped right into a Smolov.
no, I that wasn't quite enough frequency, so I did it like a double Smolov, like a Smolov on top of a Smolov,
alternating days.
Smolovception.
One in the morning, one at night.
No, I started really slowly. That like I was literally going like every other week, of not even benching at all. Just I use overhead press in place of bench, so I just keep that in more often. But now I'm trying to do like hypertrophy training for my chest for my pressing. So I was curious how that's gonna feel like doing
A lot of repetitions.
Yeah, so this week I did 8 sets of 8, and it's pretty good. It's like I can feel that, it's not 100%, but I don't know if I'll ever be like where it's like, ooh, this feels 100%. This feels great.
It's possible that just doing a little more might just help it along too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and I'll find out because I'm trying to bench higher volume twice a week a little bit, not heavy weight, but higher volume, and we'll see how that affects it. Hopefully positively, but could also be negative. It's just trial and error a little bit.
2 weeks since your PR attempt?
I think so.
2 or 3. So I mean, listen as your coach, advisor, I just really think it'd be in your best interest to, if you attempted a PR like every 8 days.
Yeah,
Just do another
just
PR
cash
after
in the
that.
chips
And I don't
and
mean
just
you
get
have
that.
to hit the lifts. You just got to try to hit more than you've ever hit before.
At
Once
least get
every
put it
8
on the
days.
bar.
At least get a
Put it on the
picture of the
bar.
weight.
Get a picture of the weight.
Well, sometimes you just got to feel the weight.
Yes.
You got to know where you're going. You don't want
You got to know what it feels like to not be able to get it.
Yeah, you don't want to go into a
The
blind.
real key is if you can miss 500 pounds 8, maybe 9 times.
Yeah.
On the 10th time, you're going to be so familiar with what that weight feels like. It's just going to move for you.
No, and I can't think of a better way to try and keep my shoulder healthy, like other than put just about 500 pounds
Just
on
put
and miss
just
it.
a little bit
I mean,
more
like,
than you can
how many
lift.
game winners did Michael Jordan miss?
Exactly.
Lots.
Yeah, more than he made.
Yeah, you got to get out there. You got to miss. You got extra. There's tendons in your body that you
Yeah.
can put back on your
Yeah.
shoulder. You'll be fine.
It is funny though, now for the longest time I was kind of bummed about not being able to bench. And it's like, oh, that sucks. And now I can do that, but I'm not being able to squat. And I immediately start thinking about, I'm like, oh,
But
Like
are
you-
you
I'm not
also
like-
though like, but I fucking hate squatting.
well, it
Yeah,
is,
fuck.
but that's true. But I'm also,
You want to be better.
yeah, exactly. I'm intelligent enough to know like I don't want to be so bad at it. So I'm like, well, if I can't do it at all, I'm really destined
Definitely
to be bad
not
at
getting
it.
any better
Yeah,
at it.
yeah. So it's I'm better off squatting more than I am benching because that's what I need to be
Yeah.
doing more.
Well,
But that's
could be worse.
could be way worse.
You could have a traumatic middle finger injury.
Think about that.
Yeah.
There's always someone in a tougher spot.
Yeah,
than
here
you.
you are complaining about this to someone who can't do any of his
Yeah.
lifts because
Yeah, not due to my muscles,
not due to his
Nope,
muscles.
just your finger.
due to that damn middle finger.
Also, guys, in case you guys do follow the Tomahawk_D on Instagram, Tommy went ahead and got a dog,
Oh yeah.
which
I did
means
get a
now that
dog.
Tommy's engaged and has a dog, it's over.
That's about as
You're
domesticated
just
as you
gonna
can get.
slide right into married.
Yep.
And right into kids.
Well, what gonna get married to my fiance now? What am I thinking over here?
Yeah, what are you gonna do next?
Some kind of loser.
Get married to your fiance?
Oh, I probably have a date picked out too, even, huh?
Yeah, I suppose.
I'd
Is
probably
there
pick
a
out
date?
August 4th as some imaginary date.
Way to go, Tommy. What a fucking loser. Are you going to invite friends and family? Have a DJ?
Yeah, I can see it all now. It's just.
Yeah, the writing's on the wall.
But yeah, I did get a dog, and
How is it being a dad?
you know, I always had a dog growing up, so I haven't had a dog now. It's probably like 10 years. I would totally consider myself a dog person. I love dogs. I love playing with dogs. Love being around dogs.
But I hate the one I got.
Well, no, you just forget the puppy stage of
Yes.
like I can't leave you alone in your kennel because you think you're gonna die. And you guys both had dogs.
Yeah.
Did you remember that stage? Like,
Yeah, and
you
the
go in the
problem is,
kennel and
too,
it's for like
They are,
months.
at that point, they are simultaneously the most adorable creatures in the world.
No, that's how.
And also the most awful, which
Like
is very much.
naughtiest.
It's like, imagine a human baby that will fucking ruin everything that you own if you look away for even a moment.
Yeah.
Like, instead of like a human baby, if you look away for a moment, they'll just actually die. Is your main worry. But if you have a dog and you go take a piss and you shut the door and you have a puppy, like anything, you could come out to any possibility.
Being trashed.
Yeah, turds, pee,
Just pee
puke.
everywhere.
That's an annoying part of the beginning.
That
is
is
getting
too.
the potty
And
training
it's like,
down.
God, how? I mean, just like a baby, all you do is poop and pee. Like, what? How does that body just move that through so fast? And
I remember, and I'm not joking. There were 3 when Fletch was a puppy.
And he probably had, even as a puppy, a very large puppy bladder. I mean, to the point where, like, not that he was hanging on to the pee, but to the point where he was
just a lot
pushing
of
out
it.
pee all the time.
There was, his bladder control was as weak as any puppy, and his bowel control was as weak. But the actual movements were very bountiful. But the problem is, I remember for real. I think like 3 occasions in which I had to call in late for work because, and I quote, "I'm still waiting for my dog to poop. Like, he just won't poop, but we're fucking working on it, and then I'll be on my way. But I can't, for Christ's sake, I cannot fucking, he just won't poop, but if I leave without him pooping, he's gonna poop all up in his stuff.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a huge problem." And that's what having a puppy is, basically. Like, would you just poop? And then also on the other side of it, you're yelling at them to try to make them not poop.
Yeah, don't poop there.
Don't poop there, just poop here. Poop right now, not now.
Sometimes it's like, oh, they're never going to learn, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, they got it.
And like sometimes,
when a puppy wants to nap with you, it's the best thing in the whole world.
Yeah.
And I had to go on a 3-hour drive to get him yesterday, and I actually almost thought there was something wrong with him because during the 3 hours he only slept on my arms. I'm like, is he broken? Does anything happen? And then once we got home, that changed in a hurry, and I figured out, oh yeah, he's totally functioning and everything.
I have a fun story with not. Yeah, it was a fun story. Let's share this story. So, me and some college guys, we all lived together, and we got a puppy.
And Tyler, the other guys were in
Yeah,
college. Tyler's 33.
Well,
So what was this, a year ago?
Let's be real. I was college age, but you are right. Was not attending college, but I was of college age. That's why I said me and some college guys had a house, and just a straight up party house, like literally ashing on paper plates, like cigarettes out on the deal, like God knows beer bottles everywhere. Total crime scene all the time. We got a puppy because we thought it'd be cool to have a puppy around, and get the dog the first like day, 2 days. I was like, this dog is super fucking chill. Like, all he does is just hangs out. He's not needy. Doesn't get into anything. I was like,
Turns out he was dead.
it gets better. I was like, guys, I think we found the perfect dog. And then one night, the dog is just all of a sudden really whining, which is not what that dog does, because normally that dog does nothing. Just whining and whining. I'm like, oh, what? And there's nothing you can do. You let him out, nothing. Fall asleep for a few hours, wake up. The dog is totally dead. Like, we had the dog for like maybe, I think, 4 days, 5 days tops. This dog is dead. And it was a puppy when we got it. So I don't know what you do when you get a dog from the Humane Society and it dies right away. Like, do you just not tell them? Right? So here's what I did do. was put the dog in a garbage bag and took him back out to the Humane Society. And I was like, hey, I'm sure I didn't do anything wrong. I can't guarantee that, but like this dog is dead. And they're like, well, obviously you have it in a garbage bag.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have any doubts about that.
Yeah.
But what happened is apparently that dog came from a litter of they had 4 or 5 puppies. And they must have already contracted one of the diseases with which they vaccinate them for. Oh. Which means then when they vaccinate them for that disease that they're already fighting, it just overwhelms them, and then they just die. So I was actually the 3rd person to bring a puppy back in a garbage bag that day. So, fun fact, dead puppies.
Fun fact, just don't vaccinate anything ever, right?
Never vaccinate.
This is our anti-vaccine episode.
The hippies were right.
They knew all along.
Yep.
So we looks like we do have a laundry list.
We do have some
podcast reviews here. Thanks to everybody leaving us reviews on Apple Podcasts. Tanner, what do we got?
We've got 2 good ones today to read.
And 3 really shitty ones.
Yes.
And then 5 mediocre ones.
Either way, we only read the good.
Actually, I'll have like a 10-star rating. So they give us 5 stars, but I base them on like a 10-star scale.
Gotcha.
So the first one, 5 out of 5 stars, and this is from Pitrsin. Pitterson.
I like it.
3 South Dakotans struggle with measuring tapes, basic math, and metric system in their quest to learn that they should continue deadlifting conventional.
Just wait, isn't that contradictory to say 3 South Dakotans struggling with all that stuff?
Yeah, listen,
Redundant.
Those are all If you thought that there is a single South Dakotan that is interested in the metric system.
Next one is from S. McCormick. Title, Yeah Buddy, 5 out of 5 stars. Get the more here. I've definitely had to bail out of more than one lift due to laughing while listening to these guys. Their BS is pretty great combination of education, truth-telling, introduction to the community of powerlifting, comedy/smack talk, and poop jokes. I didn't even take it personally when they were talking smack about a 285-pound back squat while I was listening to the podcast with the 285 pounds on my back.
Shit, did we do that? Yeah. We were those guys. Damn it.
Good times and worth a listen. It's a good review.
Well, I would assume at this point his back squat is probably doubled at least.
I bet. Yeah.
I mean, if he's been listening to this podcast for long, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, I don't know if you guys noticed this, it's kind of been taking the Instagram lifting world by storm. Is the Massenomics Versus series.
The hottest series since Game of Thrones.
It's just people are dying to see who's going to be next. Like what lifter is going to be put into this versus scenario.
Death match with.
Yeah. And a lot of guys are saying you really haven't arrived in the lifting scene until you've made it in one of these.
I would say that's true.
It is one of the highest honors.
Or we maybe haven't come up with a suitable competitor or had the idea yet.
But
we're really doing our best.
Some of the ones that we have done, what I'm looking here is it'd be nice to get more audience participation on who they'd like to see in these. But some of the ones we've done is Huck Finn versus Juji Mufu, Blaine Sumner, the Vanilla Gorilla versus Silverback Gorilla, Dr. Deadlift versus Dr. Phil, Stan Rhino Efferding versus a White Rhino, Forsaken Warrior versus the Golden State Warriors, Thor versus Half Thor, Dan Boss Green versus the Boss from Office Space, Steffi Cohen versus Steffi Graf, 2 Chains versus Accommodating Resistance with Chains.
Jay Cutler. Favorites, by the way.
At the end you can pick your favorite. Jay Cutler versus Jay Cutler, football player versus the bodybuilder. Curling versus Curls. Jen Thompson versus Kirill Sirchev. Ed Cohn versus the Coneheads. Louis Simmons versus Richard Simmons. Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Arnold Palmer. Chad Wesley Smith, the people's coach, versus Tony Perkins, the coach from Heavyweights. Donnie Thompson, Mr. 3000 versus Andre 3000.
The nude picture of Donnie Thompson, I think, made that probably one of my favorites.
There was two I really loved about that. That was the picture of Donnie, and then he reposted it on his. I have no idea who this cat is.
Talking about Andre 3000. Yeah.
And someone's like, dude, he's won Grammys.
Yeah, like 6. Dave Hoff versus David Hasselhoff. And then the most popular to date by the people's choice so far is Larry Wheels versus Larry the Lobster.
From SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah, which I wouldn't have guessed that would be the people's choice so far, but that's it's what they like.
It is what
I
they
think
like.
my personal favorite, I think, is Chad Wesley Smith versus
I laughed pretty hard at that
Tony
one.
Perkins, because the Tony Perkins one was was it the system? There was Juggernaut Training System, and then Perkins system was Perkins.
Yeah.
There's always components of everyone I like. I did really like, probably my favorite comment on the Dave Hoff versus David Hasselhoff. Someone said, "Can't tell if this is funny or serious." And Tanner's response was, "We created this just to confuse you."
And then a couple people we have in the works right now. I'm not going to tell you who they're battling against, but I will just I'll show the guys here the picture so they can see, but you're not going to know who they're going against. One will be Dan Bell is going to be taking on
the Dan Bell one is going to be a real treat, you guys.
I like that too.
And then someone requested we do something with Dan Bell. And then someone requested this matchup, but it's Ronnie Coleman is another one.
Yeah.
And
Just
then
getting all the greats out.
Yep. One yet to be finished is Ben Pollock, competitor to be determined. We did a poll on that of the fish, Pollock the fish, a swarm of Pollock fish, and Wolverine from X-Men. And it came back like 51% Wolverine.
So we just decided we're going to do him versus the town of Pollock, South Dakota.
Yeah. There was a lot of write-in votes on that too.
Oh, really? So we have options.
A lot of good options now on that one. And actually, Ben himself wrote in his suggestion. So.
Interesting.
And then the last one here this one's actually done is John Hack versus someone.
Good.
So
that'll be really good.
Oh,
that's what's to come, and let us know who you want to see next.
So
we have a lot of fun
reviews,
putting these together. So if you guys have ideas, we'd love to do it.
I finally got a review back on one of my comments on the TB12 advertisement post.
You came across as a notification to you?
Yep, somebody just decided to comment on my comment. Apparently, arguing with people who comment on advertisements is a thing that douchebags do on the internet. So, I'm not going to say the guy's name, but I just want you to know that there are these types of people exist in the world on the internet. It was so tempting for me to comment under his thing because I'm certainly smarter and more articulate than him, and I chose just to do it on the podcast instead because fuck this guy. My comment was it was something about Tom Brady's, it was an advertisement for his protein bars that continue to pop up on my shit. Probably because I commented on one of them.
Yeah. You're highly engaged.
My comment was, are these the same protein bars that Tom used to achieve his monstrous 165-pound bench press and 9-inch biceps, or his 7-second 40-yard dash time? I'm just going to guess Patriots jock rider chimed in and said, no, but it's the same protein bars that have helped put up an MVP season at 40, well, spelled at wrong, but R40, and still is the best quarterback in the NFL at almost 41. Not sure if you're aware, but name one legendary Hall of Fame quarterback that had a fast 40-yard dash time, ... I'll wait. And I wanted to comment.
I feel like he's missing your point.
And here's what I wanted to say is, so are you training to put up an MVP quarterback season at 40? Or are you training to not be fat, slow, and disgusting and soft? Because Tom Brady is fat, slow, disgusting, and soft. He's just rich and is a good quarterback, and that's okay. But I'm not going to be a good quarterback eating protein bars. But I would like to maybe have decent arms and remain fuckable. Okay? And those are things that I have that Tom Brady doesn't. He just has a fat wallet and some titles. But I'll be goddamn if I'm going to take those protein bars And also, Tom Brady was not eating those protein bars.
No,
you
when he was
guys.
yeah, he hasn't been
Those
eating
things
these
just
for the
came
last.
out. Like Tom Brady has probably not even eaten them.
Yeah.
I would be pretty surprised if he did. Like if he's
Yeah.
eating them, it's because
It's been
like,
like, taste this.
Well,
Is it okay, Tom?
yeah.
Whatever. The
okay,
peasants will
we
eat it
we
up.
threw a whole box in your locker. Okay, I guess
Fine,
if I
but
get
is someone else going to cook me a real meal now?
The correlation of those protein bars and any of his accomplishments
Zero.
is zero. A total of
Because here's the other
0.0.
thing: Tom Brady also shits on a nicer toilet than that guy, and a nicer toilet than I do. So maybe that's the key.
Yeah.
Is shitting on nice toilets is going to make you a Hall of Fame quarterback at 41.
Yep.
But fuck that guy. That guy's a fucking idiot. And if I get any more of these, I'll gladly recite them because it's never like an intelligent answer.
Yeah.
So I invite all of you guys, however, to if you happen to see any TB12 advertisements, to talk shit about Tom Brady on them too, because the Tom Brady fans are the worst. Like if you're gonna argue with someone on the internet about a Tom Brady thing, like you're the worst for sure. So
Yes,
I win.
Probably.
suck it, dude. So that does have us all wrapped up today, but we do have some new stuff popping up in the store.
The Huge Life banners are there available now.
and they look good.
They do.
Are we going to discuss the elephant in the room?
Yeah, we certainly could.
Are these going to be available?
I don't know yet for sure. This is
Fuck it, they're going to be
This is a
available
prototype.
soon.
Prototype.
We'll show you on camera if you're watching. You can see it right now. I don't know
Because
how well you can see it,
apparently champion shorts are back in.
Oh,
It's
champion.
no longer
Champion
It's
is
no
in.
longer a thing that just poor people do. They are the Lululemon of weightlifting shorts.
Mesh shorts.
Of
Yeah.
powerlifting
Of mesh
shorts. Of
shorts,
mesh
yeah.
shorts. So we have the Lift logo,
in
the
white.
Massenomics Lift logo in white on our black champion mesh shorts.
It does look good.
It looks real good. So keep an eye out. If you do go to Massenomics.com, scroll to the bottom of the page, sign up for the email newsletter, you will be literally the first to know that doesn't own this company that those are available.
Yes, that would be
sure.
a good place if you want to find out about
If you want to find out first when those drop, get them.
Also, if you're international and you're one of the many people that have asked about us shipping internationally, sign up for our newsletter too. Would be a great way to, if we get that figured out eventually, to be up to date on
because
that.
then we can just announce that we've released international shipping as an option.
But there have been a lot of people wanting to know about international shipping.
Honestly, I think your
could
best
say the
bet,
world is
your best bet
demanding
would
it.
be to first not be super weird. 2, fly here, hang out, buy the stuff while you're here, and then go home.
Yeah. Sounds perfect.
Yeah.
You can see the gym.
I
Watch
couldn't
train
think
in
of
the
a
gym
better
for free.
vacation destination.
Yeah, I mean, we have literally 6 to 8 weeks before the mosquitoes take over this town.
Yeah,
It
it's going to
becomes
be
too hot
nice
to
for
go
at least
outside.
a few weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's going to be awful. So your window is narrowing up, and then right when that breaks, it's back to winter again. So, get it while the getting's good. But Massenomics.com, email newsletter. There you'll also find the store with all our other good stuff, the shirts, the hats, all the stuff you can't get that we're wearing right now.
We got a lot of shirts in the pipeline right now, I would
Yeah,
say.
a lot of
Like a
air
lot of
coming
things,
down.
a lot of
The old brainstorm factory
Yeah.
is just pumping out ideas left
Yeah.
and right.
Yeah.
So we are just really churning out the top-notch stuff.
there is some good ones that could be coming out. I'll put it this way: if you like what we've done so far, you would
Boy,
like what
have we got a thing to sell.
We
you.
have not deviated one bit from what is working. So, so also go to youtube.com/Massenomics, click subscribe. We still have all our videos from the Arnold up there, really picking up steam. I think we have quite a few of them with 10 to 20,000 views now. And if you haven't seen them, you need to see them.
they are good.
Yeah, get on them, tell a friend, tell everybody. So, what else do we have? Facebook. Make sure you like us on Facebook. Apparently, people still use Facebook. That'll do it, right?
That'll do.
If you want to send us money, getbig@massenomics.com. That's for all the sponsorship stuff. Anything other than that, you're better off just buying some shit in the store. So I'm Tyler. You can find me on Instagram at Tyler Effin Stone. That's Tyler EFFIN Stone. Tommy
You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
and Tanner.
The Massenomics Instagram account at Massenomics.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for listening.
You just heard the Massenomics podcast. With your ears, you're welcome. Check us out on Facebook, find us on Instagram at Massenomics, and make sure you visit Massenomics.com and buy some of that sweet Massenomics gear. From your friends at Massenomics Studio, home of the world's strongest podcast, stay strong.